Hello, this presentation will focus on career skills, what employers highly value. On today's agenda, you're going to do a deep dive into each of the career skills and learn about what they are and why they're important. You'll also identify your current skills and areas for potential growth. Why do career skills matter? Career skills are transferable and highly valued in every single industry. Focusing on career skills will ensure that you're setting yourself up to stand out and confirm you're prepared for life after graduation. Using skills in a career promotes overall well-being, ability to adapt to change, as well as gives individuals a sense of purpose. Employers around the world highly value and look for candidates who have these specific skills, and they desire to have those candidates in their organization. So let's pause for a moment. What skills do you think employers value the most? The National Association of Colleges and Employers, or NACE, defined the following 8 career skills as the top areas that employers, again, across all industries, highly value. Those skills are critical thinking, communication, teamwork, technology, leadership, professionalism, career and self-development, and engagement across perspectives. We're going to do a deep dive into each of these skills and also identify and assess how and where you might find these skills showing up in the workplace and also during your experience as a student. So let's start with critical thinking. Formally defined, critical thinking is the ability to identify and respond to needs based on an understanding of situational context and logical analysis. So when an employer is analyzing a potential employee's or a candidate's critical thinking skill set, oftentimes they tap into their interview questions to try to learn a little bit more about that employee's potential skill set area. Here's an example of an interview question that would tap into the candidate's ability to think critically. The question is, tell me about a time you were faced with a problem or challenge. How did you approach and solve it? Feel free to pause this presentation right now and brainstorm how you might respond to that question. As I mentioned, most interview questions that employers are going to ask are focused around those 8 career skills that I pulled up on the prior screen. So this is a really great way to prepare for any future interview, whether you're interviewing for an internship, a co-op, a volunteer role, a gig-turnship or a short-term project, or even a full-time position. You can almost guarantee that the questions you're going to get will surround these particular skill areas. Here's a case study for you to consider. You're part of a 4-person student group working on a marketing presentation for a major class grade. Each person is responsible for a section. 3 days before the deadline, you realize that one teammate hasn't submitted their part, despite multiple reminders. That section is crucial, and you're now at risk of turning in an incomplete or subpar presentation. You have the option to submit the project without their part and take the hit, do their section yourself, even though it means pulling an all-nighter, contacting the professor to explain the situation, waiting it out and hoping they still submit something. I'm going to have you pause this presentation to ponder the following questions. And the questions are, what would you do first? What questions would you ask before deciding what your best next steps might be? What are the possible outcomes for each of those scenarios? And what skills, aside from critical thinking, are also involved? Let's move on to communication. Formally defined, communication is clearly and effectively exchanging information, ideas, facts, and perspectives. We're going to complete a short activity, and let me jump into this here. I want you to either state out loud, type into a Word doc or a Google Doc, or jot down on a piece of paper how you might explain how your phone knows where you are, i.e., how a GPS system works, to a 5-year-old. I'll repeat it one more time. Explain how your phone knows where you are, i.e., how a GPS system works, to a 5-year-old. Go ahead and pause and again, jot that down or communicate out loud, however you wish, how you might explain this particular item to a 5-year-old. All right, and here is a sample interview question that would tap into the candidate's ability to communicate. The question is, tell me about a time you had to persuade someone or a group to do something. What was the situation and how did you handle it? Again, feel free to pause this presentation and think about this question for a moment and how you might respond to it. Let's move on to teamwork. The example and definition of teamwork is building collaborative relationships and work effectively with others toward common goals. An example interview question for teamwork is talk to me about one of your group projects. Technology. Technology definition is using digital tools ethically and efficiently to solve problems, complete tasks, and support productivity. We're going to do a quick tech check poll. And as I pull up a variety of specific technologies on the screen, I want you to think about how confident your ability is to utilize whatever the technology is. Excel, LinkedIn, Hire a Niner, ChatGPT, and Google Workspace. Think through each of these particular technology programs or elements. How confident are you in using each of these examples you see on the screen? How would you determine if you need to gain extra training, or how would you pursue extra training to increase your proficiency in any of these areas? Are there other technologies that you think you need to build your own knowledge in, and how would you pursue building that knowledge? And here's an example interview question that taps into technology. Tell me about a time when you had to adapt to a new technology. Go ahead and pause this presentation and think through an example of a time when you had to adapt to new technology. How would you respond to that question? All right, tapping into leadership. This definition is inspiring, persuading, and motivating self and others under a shared vision. It also involves seeking out and leveraging diverse resources and feedback from others to inform direction, and using innovative thinking to go beyond traditional methods. Sometimes leadership qualities can be seen as serving as a role model to others, and leaders often plan, initiate, manage, complete, and evaluate projects. Go ahead and spend some time reflecting on the following statement. Describe a time you've been a leader, formally or informally. By formally, I mean you've held a title that is some semblance of a leadership role. Informally, maybe you held a leadership position, but without having, again, a formal title. Feel free to type this out on your phone, on your laptop, on a scrap piece of paper, but spend a few moments pausing this presentation and reflecting. Let's now talk about professionalism. Formally, the definition of professionalism is to demonstrate accountability, integrity, and effective work habits. I'm going to pull up a list of statements, and I want you to think through whether the statement describes a professional act or something that is not professional. First one is turning on your camera during a virtual meeting. Is that professional or not? Second one, responds to emails within 24 hours using a respectful tone and proper greeting or sign off. Is that professional or not? Third, Ghosts a recruiter after applying for a job because they changed their mind and they don't want it anymore. Is ghosting professional or not? The fourth, thanks a guest speaker after class and connects with them on LinkedIn or via email. Professional or not? Arrives 10 minutes early prior to an appointment, to class, to a meeting, etc. Professional or not? Joins a Zoom meeting in bed with pajamas on. Professional or not? Lastly, texts or scrolls on their phone during class. Professional or not? All right, we're going to transition into the career and self-development skill. The definition of this is proactively developing oneself and one's career through continual learning and awareness of opportunities. So, what I want you to do is reflect on something that you can do this semester that supports your career. And the QR code that you see on the screen here will take you to the Career Center's website. So before you pause the presentation to reflect, I'm actually going to highlight a few items on our website that might be helpful for you to consider as you're kind of creating a strategy for yourself throughout the rest of the semester and academic year. So I'm over here now on the Career Center's website, which is career.charlotte.edu. Few spaces I want to highlight for you off of the main page. I'm going to scroll down a bit and I want to highlight some of these buttons, for lack of a better term, right here. This is where you'll find our career guide first and foremost. You can download a digital copy right here, and this is our most comprehensive career resource. Has a ton of information on a wide variety of subjects. One of my favorite spaces in the career guide is the resume section with lots of details on how to write bullet points, how to format your resume, etc. There's also a great section on LinkedIn profiles, how to network with employers, and also a section on interviewing. So definitely check that out. I also wanted to highlight Hire a Niner. This is your main space for many different items that are career related, including but not limited to scheduling a one-on-one career coaching appointment with our team of career coaches. It's also where you'll go to apply for positions, whether they're on campus, part-time jobs, a position that's part of our university professional internship program, or positions that are external to the university, like internships, co-ops, or full-time jobs. Scrolling down a bit further, I also wanted to highlight our upcoming events list. And I'm actually going to click on this space right here. All of these events are pulled from Hire a Niner, and this is a really great page to check on a regular basis just to see what's happening. So my recommendation as you're thinking strategically about your semester ahead, take it one step at a time and think about each week in the semester. So something I commonly suggest to students is to check maybe on Sunday as you're preparing for your week. What are some upcoming events that are career related that might be able to fit into your schedule and again, help you either dive deeper into career exploration or help you learn about a career development topic. So again, all of these events you'll find in Hire a Niner, but this nice comprehensive list off the main page of our website is really helpful too as you're just planning week by week. There's a lot of other great details on the Career Center website. So again, I'll toggle back to my presentation. Feel free to hop onto this QR code just to, again, browse on your own time through the Career Center's resources. But go ahead and pause this presentation and return back to that reflection question. What's one thing you can do this semester that supports your career? Last but not least, I want to discuss engagement across perspectives. This skill is defined as demonstrating the awareness, attitude, knowledge, and skills required to engage and include people from different backgrounds. So while you're likely watching this presentation from the comfort of your own home, what I want you to do if you're in a Zoom room, go ahead and raise your hand or throw something into the chat function. If you're watching this solo by yourself, go ahead and think through again if you resonate with any of these statements. So stand up or raise your hand if you've ever Been part of a team where most people thought differently than you. Had to explain a part of your identity to someone. Changed your opinion after listening to someone else's perspective. Felt like your voice is valued in most settings. Said interesting when you actually disagreed with someone. What did you notice if you are in a group setting? What did you notice about who stood or raised their hand and who didn't? What does this say about how we bring different perspectives and how we engage with them? Now that we've gone through all of the 8 career skills that again are defined by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, I want you to go ahead and identify which career skills might be growth areas for you. And as you are identifying these and even thinking about next steps, the QR code on this page will take you to the Niner Engage space. What's really neat is that all of the student organizations at UNC Charlotte have also been aligned with career skills. So whether you're joining a student organization for fun, to build community, to build skill sets, you can visit this page and read descriptions about all of the different student organizations and also identify what skill sets you might be building upon if you decided to join that particular organization. Based on your careers of interest, which career skills do you need to continue improving? What are some activities that could help you improve in those career skill areas? Again, this might be a really good space to visit the Niner Engage website, which again you can find on this QR code, or you can visit the Career Centers page and even think about having a continued deeper conversation about career skills and how to build these by meeting with your career coach. I do want to highlight that we meaning the Career Center is located right next to the Adkins Library, and this is an image of our front office. We would love to see you in our office. Again, we offer one-on-one hour-long career coaching appointments that you can schedule via Hire a Niner. You're also more than welcome to pop by for a drop-in. During fall and spring semesters, these are offered Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And make sure you're following us on social media. This is where we post a lot about our programs, events, employers that are visiting with us, and will help you stay in the know about all things career related. Thank you so much.